ーファミコン第1弾グラディウス3
Konami.
Every time a game has some of success, it can be missing the imitations and new versions of that game, trying to take advantage of the original success. This has led to every kind of results, from bad changes of the game, strange and annoying aberrations of the original, and only in some instances there are versions that improve the original. It's a shame that few times some of these versions are known and recognized. And less recognized are when the original game was created for home computers. In this case, Prince of Persia. The one that the original was created by Jordan Mechner under the developer Brotherhood software. Between all the versions that exist of the game, maybe the ones that were more known by all the gamers are the ones that reach home consoles. In this case, and despite having new games on the saga, it comes a modification and expansion of the first one, Prince of Persia for the Super Nintendo, developed by SNES and published outside Japan by Konami. This game basically follows the same story setting similar to the Tale of Aladdin and the Wonderful Lamp, and I'm not talking about that version with the weird blue guy from 1100 Nights, in which a young foreigner meets the princess, falling both in love. But the Sultan of Persia has to be absent of the palace when facing a war. Taking advantage of this situation, Jafar the Vizier, trying to take the power for himself, locks the princess on a tower, giving her a time limit to decide to marry him, while the young man is imprisoned on the dungeon, being him the only one able to save the princess before the time's up. The first thing that the game presents different is a graphical redoing of the original, creating more detailed and varied stages and characters, with more elaborate clothes, being both closer to Persian aesthetics. On the sound side, the game gets improved with the technical advance of the console, having more realistic and exciting sound effects, and now it has a wider variety of music, presenting not only a music theme on the introduction, but along all the game, while you move on each stage, giving more depth to each stage, and more excitement to the action sequences. A lot of the basic game mechanics of the first game is kept, in which you move the young hero climbing up and down the platforms and avoiding the DD traps on each stage, fighting the different wars with sword duels, while you find your way to the next level. In these labyrinths, activating switches and dropping down fake floors. But remember that the game is running in real time, so you have a time limit along the game to rescue the princess, changing the time limit from 1 hour to 2 hours for this version. This change is because the game was extended to 20 levels, besides extending the known levels with new areas and alternative routes. If this wasn't enough, besides the changes I mentioned in this game, there were other new enemies, having more variety of wars, including many bosses with fantastic looks and new traps, like waves that can't crush you, firewalls, and wood bars that move on horizontal, just to mention some of them. These traps and enemies are integrated to the different environments of each level, ranging from the dungeon, the magic corridors of the palace, the catacombs, the towers, to even one that looks like hell. The game controls are the same that in the original version, with a special button and the D-pad to walk, run, jump, and climb, changing its function during the sword fights, besides taking advantage of the extra buttons to ease some movements, like the long jumps, and to guard and stab. This version, in addition, includes practice levels and the option of password to continue your game where and how you left it. Sorry, no saves. And remember that there are portions along the game that within them there are some with strange effects and some others that increase your health gauge, which you can distinguish by its color. The original game is already full of secrets and varied hazards, but this one expands more this variety, making a great adventure of this game, going through mystic portals, finding supernatural enemies, and impressive scenarios. This is a great recommendation if you like the classic first game of Prince of Persia, and if you want to replay it with new features, and it's also recommended for those that didn't know the first game, following the basics of that one, but in an improved format. Thanks for watching and thanks for your comments. See you on the next capsule.